Hello and welcome to episode number 5 of the Tweedle Eat Tweedle Run podcast, where Steph and I document our Run Disney adventures at both Disney World and Disneyland parks. I'm Court, and this is Steph.
Hello, and as always, you can interact with us on Instagram at Tweedle Eat Tweedle Run or reach out to us by email at tweedleeattweedlerun@gmail.com. You can also watch us on YouTube and see our lovely faces, or you can find us on various podcast platforms such as Spotify, Amazon Music, and Google Podcasts for a little bit longer until they get rid of that service. But if you like what you're hearing and seeing, you can like that button on YouTube and subscribe to us if you want to hear more. On today's episode, we have a special guest. Our friend Paula just got back from her family's trip to Disney World, and she is going to share her experiences with us.
Welcome, Paula.
Hello. Hello.
Thank you for joining us. This was Paula and her family's very first trip to Walt Disney World, so they were first timers, unlike Steph and I, who have been many times. But we had lots of conversations with Paula before you went on your trip, and conversations throughout your trip to see how things were going and how you were faring with things. So overall, how did it go? Was it a successful trip?
Successful trip. We had a lot of fun, and thank you both for preparing me and getting me ready for this trip. It made it go a lot smoother than it would have if I had been left to my own devices.
Yes,
Yes.
I always say to people that, like, as much as you do have to plan it, it will make for a much better trip if you spend some time ahead of time planning and figuring out what you want to do. So, okay, so give us the trip details. Like, who did you go with? Where did you stay? And like, what parks did you go to?
So it was our family, so myself, my husband, and our 8-year-old son. And we went to Florida. We stayed at Boardwalk Resort,
Mhm.
which was right on Resort. Boardwalk was awesome. It really was a great location, super nice place. And then we spent 3 days at the parks, 3 full days back to back, Magic Kingdom, then Epcot, then Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, so Steph and I have never stayed at Boardwalk. It's still on our list of places to go, but we stayed at Beach Club, which is like right in that same area. It's like just across the water from it. And yeah, I agree that the location, especially when you're going to go to Epcot and Hollywood Studios, it's just so nice. Like, do you want to take the Skyliner? Do you want to walk? Do you want to take a boat? Like, it's all lovely ways to get to the parks.
You do pay a premium, but I think it's well worth it just being able to move in and out so easily.
I would totally agree. Yeah. Especially for Epcot. We left for the afternoon, went back to the pool, had some relaxed time, and then it was the only night we made it to fireworks.
Yeah, taking that midday break. Yeah, it's so key. I remember we were talking that before you went on your trip as to, like, ideally this is how I love to structure my days, to go rope drop and then spend all morning, have lunch, and then like take that break and then go back for sort of dinner and fireworks when it's not so hot and not so busy.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good advice. We did that for the first 2 days for Hollywood Studios. We muscled through for a full day there.
And how did you find doing 3 days in a row?
Too much. It was, by the end of the third day, it was really hot and we were really just tired. So I think 2 days in a row was fine. 3 days was probably too much. So looking back, maybe I would take a break after 2 days.
Hmm. Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about your park days then. So you said your first day was Magic Kingdom. So walk us through sort of how did that first day go? So you flew down, and I know you were flying through Tampa and driving because you were also doing some like beach vacation time after your Disney time, right?
That's right. So we flew to Tampa. We got really cheap tickets from Toronto to Tampa for the whole family. I bought them on Boxing Day. And so we rented a car. We spent the first night near the airport just to get ready. And then we drove, oh, no, we made a stop at Target to pick up the essentials
Obviously.
for the trip.
All the snacks.
All the snacks.
T-shirts.
T-shirts, snacks. My husband bought a belt, all of the essentials. So that was fun. And then, so that made for like a nice relaxing day. So we checked in as early as we could and kind of spent the day lounging around at the resort. So that was nice. And then prepping for the next morning.
Did you check in on the app or did you go up to the desk or a little of both?
We checked in on the app. It wasn't ready. So then when I went into Boardwalk, there was all these people kind of waiting in the reception area. And so they checked me actually in and just said, okay, we'll let you know as soon as the room is ready. And it was like maybe another half an hour after that we were able to go upstairs.
And you had
Pretty
a
good.
rental car the whole time, right? But you used the Disney transportation when you went to the parks? Like you didn't drive to any of the parks?
That's right. Yeah, we used rental car. We just parked it and we didn't go back to the car for 5 days. So it was maybe a little bit of a waste of money in that regard, but we didn't have to pay for parking. And so it was just there if we needed it, which was nice to have.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you could always pop out if you needed to.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know that's what a lot of people like is just being able to just take the Disney transportation. Whereas I know other people are like, I won't do it unless I have a car because they hate buses.
Oh, no. So the first day we went to Magic Kingdom, we took the bus from Boardwalk. And that was pretty seamless. It was super overwhelming at first. So we were there for rope drop, and yeah, just so many people, everyone lining up to take their picture in front of the castle, and we had booked Pirates of the Caribbean like super early for that like ride that day. So we then had to find it, and that was overwhelming. I
I
will
guess
say
that's
that
something I've never really considered is that most of the time when I go, Court just knows where we're going.
Yeah. You have a
yeah.
tour
So
guide with you every time.
I do. I just follow blindly that I never am like, oh, where is this ride? I don't know. Although I do know where like a bulk of the rides are now, but most of the time it's just been like, okay, Court will just take me where I need to see and what I
Yeah.
need to do.
And I would say the map on the app is not great.
No.
It is hard. It gives you directions, but it's not like Google Maps where it's like you can just follow along. Um, so eventually we found it. Ride was great. We also forgot to feed our kid. I would not recommend that. Um, so
Amazing.
by the time we finished the first ride, he was pretty hungry and a little bit cranky. So that was first priority after Pirates
What,
of the
so
Caribbean.
you did Genie Plus each
Yes.
day, right? You did it every
Yeah.
day. And did you buy any of the individual lightning lanes for this day too?
Yeah, we did. For Magic Kingdom, we bought them for Tron. So we bought Genie Plus and then we bought the individual tickets for Tron. And then uh we yeah, each day we did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
We
what
we we find now that we had one day where we didn't do like Genie Plus, and after that we were like, forget it. We're not built to wait in lines.
well, and it was also like the last day too, and we were just like, why? Why did we do this?
Mm.
Worth every penny. And
Oh yeah.
unfortunately, my son is, a spoiled monster. And that one time we didn't wait in the lightning lane and he was like having none of it. So unfortunately, that will now be the expectation.
Well, and I've also done the same because when I did it with my kids, I'm pretty sure there were very few rides at Disneyland that we waited in the actual lines for.
Mhm. We also
Well,
made the mistake at Magic Kingdom of waiting in line for It's a Small World, um, to which none of us were impressed with. And my son just kept saying how creepy it was and why was I on this stupid ride? And he was not impressed with that. Was the lowest ranked ride of the entire experience.
overall, how did you find using Genie Plus this first day? Did you find you got the hang of it pretty quickly? I mean, Magic Kingdom's probably one of the easier parks, just given there's so many attractions, so it's not as competitive as some of the other parks to get them booked early. But how did you find it?
Super easy. Yeah. I mean, it took a little bit to kind of figure out navigating the app, but after that, no problems. Once we got the hang of it, we felt like we had mastered Genie Plus and all that was available to us. So much,
Okay.
in fact, that we rode Space Mountain twice that day. So
Oh, nice.
mhm.
Did you book it? You booked it through Genie Plus, or did you get like one of your rides went down or something, so you got a multi experience?
Nope, I don't know what a multi-experience is, so I
Okay.
didn't encounter that.
There you go.
No, I think we did Genie Plus once, and then the other line wasn't too long in the nighttime. So
Gotcha.
Oh, so in the evening.
mhm.
Just to fill you in what a multi-experience is, it's this magical pass you get when one of your rides go down that you have in line for Genie Plus, and then you can use it for anything.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. It's like yeah, because basically they're like, oh, you can't ride your ride during your time. So then
They give you
they give
something.
you, yeah, this
Yeah.
pass that you can use for multiple rides or for the ride that you wanted to get the Genie
Yeah.
Plus for. Anyway, so
Okay. Mhm.
what okay, so you did your first ride, grumpy child, because you didn't feed him breakfast. So then you went and got him breakfast, or did you just bring snacks with you to the park?
No, we didn't really bring too many snacks. We had emergency cashews that we used every day. But we had the um it was like a waffle filled with fruit and
Oh
Nutella.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. From Fry or Sleepy Hollow. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like that. How did that go over? Did that cure the
Well,
grumpiness?
cure the grumpiness. Yep. It was a hit. So then we were back and ready to go explore for the rest of the day.
Good. And then so was it mostly rides that you did like for the morning? I think this is the day you said you did do a midday break, but you did mostly rides in the mornings?
Yeah, mostly rides. We basically just moved from ride to ride and kind of walked around, and that was like our agenda for the day. And we did take a break, and went back and had some kind of quiet time. And then we went back there for dinner.
And where'd you go for dinner?
Skipper Jack's.
Skipper
Um,
Canteen?
The
yeah,
canteen. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so it was good. It was fine. We were so hungry by the time we got to dinner, that it was probably, yeah, when you're super hungry and tired and it's the best food you've ever had.
That's fair. That's totally fair. How did you all enjoy Tron? Did you do it in the morning or did you do it when you got back in the afternoon?
We did in the afternoon. It was super hot. And we all loved it. Loved it.
Was it
Yeah.
long enough? Do you feel like it was a worthy enough of an experience?
No, could have been longer. And I think what happened was we went on Space Mountain, which was like the first kind of real roller coaster my son had been on. So he loved that. And then we were like, well, dude, wait for Tron. So he loved Tron. And then we went back to Space Mountain after because we were able to get in the shoreline.
Well, then, and you were messaging us about all this, and Court and I were both like, we can't wait to ride Guardians then.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So,
What Yeah,
mhm.
what was his ranking? I know you sent us his ranking for his favorite Magic Kingdom rides, which there were
Yeah.
definitely a few things that surprised me in some of his rankings.
Okay. You want to start from the bottom or from the top?
Let's go like bottom to top.
Okay. So I already gave it away, but number 7 was It's a Small World. Number 6 was Under the Sea. Those were a close tie for last for my son, but I quite enjoyed Under the Sea, and sang the entire time.
Obviously, as a good baby of the 80s should.
Yeah. Number 5 was Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, which was surprising for me,
That's
because we did
surprising.
quite enjoy that, but I think it was the last ride of the day that we did, so we were kind of tired at that point. Number 4 was Haunted Mansion. Number 3 was Pirates of the Caribbean. Number 2 was Space Mountain ×2, and number 1 was Tron.
Okay, so he did rank it first. It was his favorite ride of the day. And you didn't end up doing Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, right?
No, we couldn't get on it. It was full all day. We missed that
Yeah.
one. So.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
gets really it always has a big long line.
It has a good combination of roller coaster with cuteness. That's what wins over Seven Dwarfs.
It is also very short though, so
Yeah.
it's a short ride for a long wait, which sometimes doesn't feel worth it, but I am also surprised he didn't enjoy Big Thunder more, only because he seemed to enjoy the thrill rides more.
Mhm.
And
Definitely.
you didn't stay for fireworks this night. What time roughly did you just head out kind of after dinner or a little
Yeah,
later than
but
that?
it was as we were leaving, people were assembling for the fireworks. So we were going against the crowd. That was chaos. And we all felt fine with that decision to go to bed. I will say from our balcony at Boardwalk, we were able to see the fireworks from Hollywood Studios. And so that was kind of nice to be able to still see the fireworks from our room.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Did you request like a particular, like when you booked your room, was there like a particular request that you had made for your room?
None, no. And so our room was 2 queen beds and a couch that turned into like a sleeping cot. That was pretty cool. So lots
So
of
did you all
space.
take your own beds, or
We did.
did you put your
Yes.
husband on the pull down bed?
Yeah, we all rotated. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to have your own bed.
Yeah.
So overall, good Magic Kingdom day. I was going to ask, did you end up doing the memory maker, which is like the photo pass pictures? No.
No, we didn't do it. I think I'm okay with that as well. We had a couple of photos taken on the rides, which were um priceless, I would say. So we didn't do any kind of posed photos other than asking strangers to take pictures of us.
Yeah. It's nice they added that feature when you buy Genie Plus, you get the ride photos. Because if you don't have
Mhm.
Genie Plus, then you don't get them, or they say like photo pass across them. So you'd have to like pay individually for them.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So they added that later. It wasn't initially part of the Genie Plus. And actually in Disneyland, which I think is an even better deal, Disneyland, you get all your photo pass pictures. Like all the,
You
the
do.
people like taking pictures in front of the castle and stuff like that, they're all included if you buy Genie Plus for that day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good to
it's a
Yep.
know.
way better
You
deal.
definitely do. We did that when we were there last year.
Yeah, it's like worth it even to have one person get Genie Plus, just like because then you pay like $20 for the day and you get all of your photos.
Hmm. Good
Mhm.
deal.
That
They
is a
know
good
how to
deal.
get you for $20. You can just add this. For $20, you can just add that. And before you know it, it's $500.
That is Disney math.
Yeah.
All right, Paula, so tell us about day 2, your trip to Epcot.
Yeah. So day 2, trip to Epcot. So it was a quick walk. So we walked over. We were there quite early. It was the Flower and Garden Festival,
Yep.
which was actually super cool to see in the early morning when there wasn't many people there. We got some really nice photos. So our focus and mission for Epcot was Guardians of the Galaxy. So we lightning laned, of course, and we ended up getting on it twice, and we loved it. So that was the number one ride of the day.
Spoiler.
Spoiler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
spoiler alert.
Did you end up doing you joined the virtual queue
We joined the
for one of,
virtual queue. Yeah.
were you able to get in at 7 a.m. or did you have to wait till the second drop of the day?
Second drop of the day, we did virtual queue. So we got
Yeah.
back in, we did the first ride 8 or 9 in the morning, whatever, like early-ish, must be 9. And then virtual queue ended up being around 5, I think,
Okay, by the time you got called back
by the
for it.
time we got called back. Yeah.
Very nice. Okay, so what did you do first thing? Was Guardians the first thing you did, or did you try and rope drop anything else?
No, we spent most of the time at Epcot just kind of wandering. We focused more on the rides again. We didn't actually venture to the other side of the lake until after we came back in the evening.
Oh, like in the countries
In
section,
the
like the
countries
World
section.
Showcase? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So we went on Mission Space after Guardians.
Wait,
My son
wait.
and I.
And you did the orange
Yep.
mission space,
Orange
right?
mission
Yeah.
space.
So my husband didn't join for fear of being nauseous, and he would have been sick. So
And
my
didn't you
son and
say
I
they have barf bags like
barf bag
outside of the ride?
in the ride.
In the
There are
ride.
barf
In the
bags.
ride.
Yeah.
Who? No, hard pass. Hard pass.
See, and this is why I haven't done it yet. I
Yeah.
didn't know it existed.
You can go ride it the next time we go, Steph,
I
and
will.
I
I
will go and
will.
have a cocktail and not ride it with you.
I will 100% ride it in January. Watch
It
me
was
go.
it
All
was
right.
great. We did have a delay. So you know how when you like go into rides, there's like sometimes rooms that you wait in and it's part of like the experience. And we were in the last room with like the numbers on the floor for forever. And they finally came in and said, "Oh, there's a delay." And I'm almost positive someone puked. And they were cleaning it up.
It's funny
So
that they actually told you that there was a delay because usually they try to like work it into the ride that it's all part of the experience.
it was so long and it was so hot in that little room that
Uh,
yeah. Oh, here's my cat coming to join us. So that was awesome. That ranked number 2 of the day.
Wow, I am shocked by that ranking. That one surprised me because
Mhm.
I mean I've personally never ridden it, but all I've heard about people who have ridden it is that it's just like torturous. Like it's not even enjoyable. Like how is this a ride?
We loved it. Steph, I think you'll love it.
I probably will.
All right,
Mhm.
Steph will report back after our
I
January
will.
trip.
Yep.
Okay, so then you kept
Um,
doing rides after Mission Space and Guardians.
that's right. Yeah, and for Epcot again, we took a break in the afternoon, so we just kind of like relaxed and then came back and I had texted Courtney because it didn't look like we were going to get into Remy's Ratatouille. But I was keeping an eye on Genie Plus and got us in. So again, my husband didn't
Yay!
join for fear of being nauseous. But it was great. So that was the kickoff to the evening segment of Epcot.
It's a super cute ride. It's very fun and like creative.
I loved it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think he could have been okay. Like I'm okay on that ride from like a motion sickness standpoint, but I just closed my eyes during a few of the scenes where like you fall down into something, or the one at the end where you're kind of chasing and move, going to different directions. Just because I find sometimes that's a little nauseating, but all the other stuff, it's cool to see like inside the fridge and like you're going under the in the behind the walls. And anyways, I think it has like really cool attention to detail on that ride. So it's very cute. I was so excited for you, Paula, that you got the late in the afternoon. It's been not available all day, and then they pop up. And I don't know.
Yeah.
For me, I'm always like, I think this is more exciting than the ride sometimes, is when you get the last minute Genie Plus.
I
Yeah.
believe you said in the chat, don't you love the thrill of
The
scoring
thrill.
the Genie Plus rides? I giggled.
What did you do? I just want to back up. Did you end up going anywhere for lunch, or did you go back to the room and just have stuff that you had picked up at Target?
No, I think we just had lunch. We just had, okay, actually, we went, there was like a food pavilion kind of near Guardians that was like nice and big and air
Yeah, I think that's
conditioned.
Connections. Yeah, yeah. Right,
Yeah.
like right beside Guardians. Yeah.
Yes. So we went to Connections and there was a bit of a line and my son and I were hot. So we sat down while my husband went to get us food. And what he didn't realize is that one order of pizza comes with 2 slices. And he ordered 2 orders of pizza, which then came with 4 slices plus 2 burgers. And so we ate an excessive amount of pizza for lunch.
Excellent. Did he not mobile order? Like, did he go up and order from the counter?
He went up and ordered. We mobile order looked like it was like about the same weight. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
There
so we
wasn't
just
an immediate time to be able to order from.
no, there was the line wasn't too long. So it wasn't, I felt like the park didn't seem busy. Like it felt like it could have been busier.
Well,
Um,
that's what I know it was your first time going, so you don't really necessarily have something to compare it to. But the time that you went, can you remind me which day? Do you remember which days you were there? I think you were there the second week of May. Is that right? You were there like
yeah,
the 7th through the 9th in the
that's correct.
parks?
Yep,
Yeah.
May 7th through 9th.
Yeah. And like typically it's supposed to be a quiet period. I was curious if you found that it did seem quiet since you've never been there. I feel like some people go to the parks and they think, oh my goodness, it's so crazy busy. But someone who goes all the time is like, oh my goodness, there's like nobody here. but if you don't have anything to compare it to, sometimes it's hard to know.
Yeah, I like Magic Kingdom felt super busy at the end of the night when everyone was coming back for fireworks. That
Yeah.
was like the time that we
Oh,
were
yeah.
It's
like,
insane.
oh, we need to get out of here.
It is. It's crazy, but it's because the fireworks are awesome.
Yeah. But Epcot, like especially during the morning, like didn't feel busy at all. And we were talking with another, like someone in line with us, and I think the longest wait for rides was like 90 minutes if you didn't have Genie Plus. So it wasn't, and they were saying, yeah, sometimes you can wait 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not too bad. Okay, so and then for dinner, did you end up going back to the parks for dinner?
So we had a reservation at Epcot. We didn't end up taking it. We just kind of snacked on like different kind of quick food. Oh no, we went to a Mexican place at Epcot, which was like just like a canteen order like burritos or something. And it was like
Yeah.
had like a nice patio that you could sit. And we learned, hot tip, that everyone was waiting, ordered there, and then they shut down at like 8:30, but everyone wanted to sit in those seats to watch the fireworks.
Right. And you said you did stay for fireworks this night at Epcot?
We did. We didn't end up sitting there. My son absolutely loved them. He pretended to conduct the fireworks, and we have lots of really great videos.
Amazing. Where did you end up watching them from? Like, do you know roughly where you were? Were you still around the Mexico
Somewhere,
Pavilion?
no, somewhere near Germany. Like we were at the,
Okay.
yeah, at the end, I guess. The end. I don't know if there's an end
Close
to a
to like
circle.
the gates of the International Showcase to get back to the boardwalk.
No, the opposite, the farthest point from that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
The other
he
end.
loved it. What did you and your husband think of the fireworks show?
I mean, they were great. It was kind of cool. There was lasers and there was music, and it told this super
There's water.
corny story. So yeah, it was fun. It was more fun
Yeah.
just like watching our son enjoy it.
Yeah, that's totally fair. And then did you just walked back to Boardwalk after that?
That's right. Yep. Mhm.
Isn't that so nice? It's
So
just
nice.
like the nicest part to be able to just go, and I'm going to be back in my room in 10 minutes and I don't have to wait for a bus or any other transportation to get me
Yeah.
home.
That's right.
I
So
believe
one
that
thing,
the night we did that, it was the night you went back and got ice cream at the end of our night. When we
Yeah.
walked back to
Yeah.
our hotel. It
Great,
was
great
so
end to
good.
the night.
Yeah.
so one thing about Boardwalk, so where we were facing, so they did like movies in the park area every night, and then there was like entertainment. You could hear them from our room, so it was super loud. And I
Oh,
couldn't believe the number of like small children staying up late to watch movies after being at Disney all day.
did you find it like annoying? Like was it keeping you up when you were trying to go to bed or
No,
just you could just hear it?
you could hear it. Like we were just so tired, and like it didn't start till like 8:39, the movie, so it went
Yeah.
late.
Yeah. What you mentioned that because you rope dropped every day, right?
No, by day 3, we did not make a
Okay.
rope drop.
All right. Well, so let's get into day 3 then. So this is third day in a row. This was your son was maybe not wanting to get up as quickly as the other mornings.
That's right. So he learned very quickly how to set the alarms on the like Disney equivalent of Alexa or Google. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, I
Um,
can't remember either, but you're right. You can say like hello something. Do you remember what it was, Steph?
It's like Hello Mickey. It's basically
Is it?
Alexa. I think it
yeah,
Yeah.
is Alexa.
I think it's Alexa. Yeah. Anyway, so he had set alarms for the first 2 days, and then he didn't want to wake up on day 3, so I blasted Beyonce to get him out of bed.
Excellent. Good
Um,
choice.
so he was excited to go to Hollywood. So we walked to Hollywood Studios in the morning.
How did you
So
find the walk? Like, did you like it's longer obviously than the walk to Epcot, but did you find it was still pretty reasonable?
yeah, it was about a half an hour, and it's like along the water. So it was fine. We ended up taking the gondola back on a very long route in the gondola because it didn't go directly there, but we wanted to try it out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. What did you think of
Gondola
the
is fun.
Skyliner?
Yeah. Oh, Skyliner, right? That's
Yeah,
what it's
yeah.
called. Yeah.
What did everyone think of it?
Oh, we had fun. It was the last ride of the whole
Oh,
trip.
I've heard of some people where, yeah, their kids just want to ride it. Like to them, it's another ride that you get to do at
Yeah.
Disney, is
Mhm.
riding the Skyliner. Okay, so you walked to Hollywood Studios. You did Genie Plus. Did you do individual lightning lanes for Hollywood Studios this day?
We did, and we did it for what's it called? Rise of the
Rise.
Resistance.
I think
Yeah.
Rise of the Resistance is the only one in this park that has an individual lightning lane. I think it's just
Yeah,
Magic
it
Kingdom that
was.
has the two options. But yeah, so okay, so you
Yeah.
booked one for Rise. So what was your first ride of the day? Did you only do Genie Plus rides basically? Like you only did stuff where you had booked Genie Plus?
Basically. So, we started with um Millennium Falcon ride. So
Smuggler's Run.
we had booked that for 9 a.m. That was super fun. My husband got a little sick.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't look at the screen. Was he
No.
Yeah.
what were all your positions?
So my kid was the pilot, so he
Obviously,
was
they love making kids pilots, the ones who can't drive.
terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. So bumpy.
I was the fighter and my husband was the engineer, which was
Okay.
the joke because I'm the engineer. No. Yeah.
Did
No, my
you did
husband was also the pilot. They were both the pilot. So they were both in the
oh
front.
oh that's why he would get sick.
Yeah.
Because he's just basically staring at a screen. If I ride it,
Yeah.
I'm either the gunner or the engineer, which are the ones that sit like when you
Yeah.
just push buttons like constantly, like you never
Button
stop pushing
mash.
buttons. Yeah. So then it's like you don't even have to look at the screen half the time. You're just like pushing on
Yeah.
this button. And was it just the three of you, or did you have other people ride with you?
No, we were with another family. And they same kind of dynamic. They had one son, so they were having a great time too.
Oh, good, good.
Mhm.
And were you successful in your missions?
I don't, I mean, they said we were. I don't know. Does everyone get that rating? Like,
I feel like I've ridden it before and we've only completed like, I don't know, one of three or something. No, I feel like sometimes you can,
you can really
you
I,
don't
fail.
I
always
think
do well.
sometimes you can, yeah, I think sometimes you can do it pretty terribly. When I did it with my oldest in Disneyland, we were not super successful because they made him the pilot.
Mm, yeah.
And so, and he was 6 at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then the other thing that we did build your own lightsaber. So we had booked that like 6 months ahead of time or something crazy.
Yeah.
So that was my son's like favorite thing of the day.
Well, and
But
Steph and I have never done this, like we've never built it. So like, I don't know, walk us through like how does the experience work? Like, so you're given a time when you can go and build it.
yeah, so you book a time, you show up, and then they like kind of you get to pick what kind of lightsaber, and then you go in the building and build it. And I didn't go in, only one parent was
All
allowed
right.
in because of space. So they went in, it was like 11 in the morning, it was super hot, and I was like, I'm just gonna go get some ice cream. So I went to a vendor and said, hey, do you have ice cream? And they said, we don't have ice cream on this planet. And that was pretty much my breaking point of Disney.
In Batu, and they were like, we don't sell ice cream. Human.
Yeah. So
Human.
then I bought a $6 Coca-Cola that was shaped like a grenade and tried to find some shade while they were having fun.
I feel like we should have given you more suggestions on like bars that you like patios you could have
Yes.
sat on.
Yeah, it wasn't really that long though. It was only like 20 minutes, so I
Oh,
couldn't
okay.
really go too far. So he loved it. I would say it's a lot of money for 20 minutes, but that comes in this cool case that you then have to lug around with you for the rest of the day,
Right.
and bring home on the airplane.
How did that go? How like did you get was it sort of like they didn't even care about it? Because you didn't fly out of Orlando, so like you weren't necessarily like just, flying out of Disney and so they see it all the time. Like,
I don't actually know because my husband flew home with my son and I went on a different
oh,
airplane somewhere else. But I
Oh,
don't
that's
think it was
right.
an issue.
oh right, yeah, because then you had work to get to and you had
Yeah.
to fly somewhere for work.
Yeah.
That's always the part I wonder about that is like, I know I've seen people flying home with them before and with the droids before, but it's like, it's just such a pain to drag around throughout the park.
It was a pain. So I would say if you're gonna book it for the end of the day so you can like, or like before you're taking a break. Because we had to bring it
Yeah.
on every ride. And so for that day, we had booked Rise of the Resistance at 5 p.m., which is why we didn't take an afternoon break. And we just kind of muscled through until that last ride and then left.
Mhm. Okay, so what did you do after the lightsaber building? Did you end up going for lunch or more rides?
We went to the Muppets show because it was air conditioned. Um,
Perfect.
and my kid loved the Muppets. That was number 3 of the day. Um, so yeah, so that was, and he's never even seen the Muppets.
It's a good show though.
It was a good show. And then we went to see Indiana Jones, so we just kind of like relaxed as best we could and like ate ice cream on the planets that we could get it.
Right,
And
right.
yeah,
In the worlds of Hollywood studios where you could get ice cream.
yes. And so yeah, so it kind of felt like we just kind of moved around slowly, pretty slowly that day. And again, had snacks. We had dinner. Oh, we had a long lunch. So we had dinner reservations. We canceled them and we went for lunch at an Italian restaurant
Mama
near
Melrose,
Mama
probably.
Melrose, yeah.
Yeah.
Because at that point we just really needed like a nice, cool, long lunch break. So we
Yeah.
were good.
I find when I take the kids to the park, I like to either we do like a sit down lunch. Like if I know we're not going to take a break because we're just going to kind of keep going, I either like to do a lunch where we sit, you're in the AC and you actually kind of relax for a bit because then you kind of almost feel like you take that break. Or go back to the hotel in between so you can swim or nap or whatever. So yeah,
Yeah,
it makes a big difference to
it
take that
did.
time off your feet. And the time out of the heat too, right? Like I know it's only May, but it's still very hot.
It was hot. It was like 36 degrees every day.
Okay.
Ah,
Or 95. My kid was well versed in Fahrenheit after
Oh,
that trip.
excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really hot and like uncomfortably hot on the third day. So yeah,
Hmm.
we needed that break. Um,
can you imagine the people who go in July?
no, I can't. I honestly
I
can't.
know.
And the number of kids with like fans attached to their
Strollers.
strollers and
Yeah.
yeah.
I remembered and so before we went to California, I brought one.
And California is not nearly as bad usually heat
No.
wise, just because it's not as humid. I find with Florida, the problem is like the heat it just sits there because it's so humid. And so you just don't feel like there's any break from it. I mean, the
No.
first time I took Steph when she was pregnant
Yes.
was in the whatever second weekend of
Second week of September.
September. So it was still deathly hot. And we would walk outside and Steph would just instantly sweat, like
Mhm.
just immediately covered in sweat.
I just remember the immediate satisfaction when I walked by any door that was open, like when we were walking through the international showcase and all the different countries would have their doors open to stuff. And I'd be like, oh, the breeze, it feels so nice.
Yeah, we stopped at a lot of shops just to
Yeah.
like cool off.
Yeah. Well, and you were telling me before, Paula, but your son got very into everything Disney over the course of the 3 days. What were all these souvenirs that he accumulated?
So first thing he bought was the little backpack. What are they called?
Lounge
Oh, a
fly.
lounge fly.
I know,
Yes.
right, Steph?
Ooh.
I know. Even Steph and I don't have lounge fly, so like
Yes.
he has
No, no,
So
wowed
I
he
have
won a
my
us.
fanny pack
floral.
now.
Oh, I guess that's true. You have a fanny pack, but not the backpack
Not a
stuff.
backpack now.
Yeah.
No.
Yes. So he bought a Loungefly Grogu backpack that he insisted on having. His grandpa had given him some money, so he bought it with his own money. So we told him one thing per day. So he was very selective. So day 2, he bought Grogu ears and was obsessed, that he
Wearing the
needed
ears.
ears. Yeah. And then day 3 was he bought a little Grogu shoulder figurine thing that like with the magnet that
Yeah. The
yeah.
shoulder pals. I was trying to remember, Steph, what you bought one for your brother one of the times we went. Which was his?
I got him a porg.
Porg, right. I knew it was something Star Wars and I didn't think it was Grogu, but I couldn't quite remember which one it was.
Yes, I've got him a porg, and I've also got him a baby Groot.
Mhm.
And then I've also bought my children Sebastian and Stitch, but not at Disney, using my means of buying the Asian ones from AliExpress.
Yes.
But they're the legit ones from like Disney Shanghai and Disney Hong Kong.
Yeah, they're like extras.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was all decked out. He
All
like
decked
drank
out.
the Kool-Aid. He was all in.
All in. And then we were waiting for the bus, I guess, on the way home from, I don't remember where we were. And he found a button on the ground and picked it up. And it was my first visit button. And I was like, that's the
Oh,
best thing you got this trip, buddy. And he's like, it was free.
You know, they do hand those out for free at like every single gift shop.
Okay, well, we didn't know that. And so he got one for free from the ground and
Perfect.
saved it
He
going into a dumpster. And he was happy as could be.
and he loved it, I'm sure.
He did. Yeah.
Because he's like, Mom, it is my favorite trip, my first trip to Disney.
Yeah. So, yeah. So all in. So, yeah, the Hollywood Studios was good. And then we went back and crashed and then packed up the next morning and left and went to the beach. Oh, no. First we went gator golfing and then we went to the beach.
Okay, so let's
right.
finish up Hollywood Studios. So, what was his ranking at Hollywood Studios for his rides? And I think now that I'm thinking of it, I don't think we did Epcot. So we'll do Hollywood Studios, and then we'll get his hot takes on Epcot.
Okay. Hollywood Studios, bottom to the top again.
Yeah,
Yep.
bottom to the top. Let's do it.
Okay. Number 8, alien swirling saucers.
Yeah, I mean nobody's,
But that
It's
was
okay.
that was a time kill.
Yeah.
Number 7, Star Wars Adventures. The
Star
movie one.
Tours. Yeah,
Star
Star
Tours.
Tours.
Yeah.
Yeah. The AT-AT outside is pretty cool. Like I like that they have the little Ewok village with the AT-AT outside, but otherwise it's
Special guest.
oh, who's our special guest?
He
Not
says
the
no.
cat though. No, never mind.
Michael.
No one's coming. All right.
No.
I guess it was
He's
the
hiding.
husband.
What?
Special guest does not want to be on camera or a part of the podcast.
No.
Okay, well, maybe next time,
Fine
special
then.
Yeah.
guest.
Yeah. Okay, so 8, Swirling Saucers, 7, Star Wars Adventures, number 6, Rise of the Resistance.
Which
Yeah,
is
see,
shocking.
I know.
And
Because
we
he's a
waited
Star Wars
shocking.
fan.
all day. I think it's because it was at 5 o'clock. We were tired. It was the last, and he said it wasn't really a ride.
Yeah. That's fair. And if he's I know you'd said he really liked a lot of the roller coasters, like the rides.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's much more of just a cool experience, but not a thrill ride.
Right. But ranked above that at number 5 was Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular.
Yeah. Although, you know what? My kids also love that show. They think it's
Yeah.
so cool.
I still don't know. We
We've
tried to do
never,
it the
we've
last.
never, oh, we've never gone to see it, Steph.
We've
Well,
never done it because
oh, I
the
guess we're making a
first 2
list of,
times I went, it wasn't available then. So
Okay.
oh, all the things Steph has to do the next time we go.
Number 4, Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run. So that puts number 3 was Muppets Show.
Wow.
Number
Love that
2,
Muppets show.
oh, number 2, we didn't talk about Tower of Terror.
Oh.
That was his absolute favorite ride of the entire trip.
But
Over Guardians?
Over
but also
Guardians.
didn't, but wait, it was
What?
number 2. What happened here?
Oh, number 1 was lightsaber making.
Which is not a
okay,
ride,
okay,
it's an
okay, okay.
Which is not
experience.
really a ride. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Tell us about his experience or everyone's experience on Tower of Terror then. What, like, how did you find, like, was it creepy? Was it like, was anybody like scare anyone or
I didn't
no?
like it. I
Okay.
do not like drop rides. I'd rather be blasted into space and with the puke bags than do the drop rides.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he
Paula, not a fan.
no, he loved it. It was his favorite ride. Yeah.
What about the husband? Did he do it with you?
Also enjoyed it. Yeah. He
Oh,
also
okay.
really enjoyed it.
Oh. So just you didn't like it. Other
Just me.
two loved it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
It's interesting because he would probably then really enjoy the version of it at Disneyland and Disney California Adventure, which is themed to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh,
And it's different. Like it's more intense than Tower of Terror, I would say.
okay. Well, you don't need to share that with him.
Yeah, no, he can. So, we'll all go to Disneyland now, Paula. It's got to go on the list.
I don't know.
Next up, California. Okay. All right. Well, so that's interesting. I mean, Tower of Terror, I think there's a lot of people where it is still their favorite ride, even with Guardians being in the mix now. So if we flip back to Epcot, because I know we skipped that, but for Epcot, what was his ranking of worst to best?
Number 7, absolute worst. I think almost ranked worse than It's a Small World was Figment.
Oh yeah.
Again, it was a bit of a time fill and was air conditioned.
Yep.
Number 6 was Pixar shorts, which I was surprised because I loved just watching the Pixar shorts.
Really a ride, I guess. Like
That's right.
It's an experience.
You can watch them on YouTube, I suppose. So maybe he's just like, meh.
You can actually watch them on Disney Plus. I think I
Yeah.
watched them all on the weekend with the kids.
So
Oh,
the one that I don't think is on Disney Plus though is this like Mickey one at the beginning that's like in 3D. So that part was like
Oh.
super cool.
Yeah.
The other ones we had seen, or he had seen on Disney
okay.
Plus. Yeah. Number 5 was Moana's Journey, which I loved, and it gave some nice reprieve from the heat to just be in the water.
So Paula's favorite things were things where it
It
cooled
was
you
not hot.
down.
Yeah.
There was AC.
Yeah, basically. Number 4 was Remy's Ratatouille. I also loved it. Number 3 was Test Track, which we did at the very end of the day. We kind of got a bum machine though. There was like something wrong with the like computer screen, so it didn't like listen to our design. But then we
Oh.
spent like probably 45 minutes after the ride in the design room, like redesigning cars and racing them. So that was
Yeah.
fun.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's hard to get them out of that room at the end.
Yep.
Like, I'm just like, I want to go on the next thing. And my kids are like, let's spend hours in here. I'm like, or let's
Yes.
leave.
Next thing.
Yeah. And then Mission Space, no Mike. And then Guardians, which we went on twice. So that was the ranking for Epcot.
Do you remember
what-
what songs? Yeah, we
That
were
was
gonna
my
ask
next
this-
question.
Yeah.
The first song was Gloria Estefan, which I loved and sang the entire time.
That's Conga, right?
Yeah.
Conga. Yep.
Yeah.
Conga.
Yeah. That's such a fun one to
Yeah.
get,
It is a
especially
good
for your
one.
first one.
And the second one, I don't remember the name of it. I think Mike said it was your favorite, Steph.
No, it was
Court's favorite?
no, it was Court's favorite, September.
That is my favorite. Do you
Yeah.
remember
Oh
the
no, it wasn't that one.
21st night? Oh,
No, it was some other 80s song.
they're all like 70s or 80s songs, Paula.
Yeah.
There's Iran.
Iran is one.
Everybody
My
wants to rule the world.
I don't know. My husband will remember. I don't remember.
All right. Well, not as good as Conga, either way.
Yeah, not as good as
No,
Conga.
Oh, okay. And that was it, just the 3 days. And when you were planning it, because you didn't go to Animal Kingdom, what was the reason like that you picked the 3 parks that you did?
So we let our son pick, so we watched some YouTube videos of like and looked at some of the rides, and that's what he decided. I don't know why we picked only 3 days and not 4, probably because I just cheaped out. But I think we were all okay with it because I was like, oh, we have another, like Friday, we could have technically gone to Animal Kingdom. I'm like, do you want it? Does anyone want to go? And no one wanted to go.
Yeah, you're pretty done
Yeah.
at that point.
Pretty tired at that point.
Yeah.
And really, in my opinion, if any of the parks you're going to skip, Animal Kingdom's okay skipping. The only thing that's like super worthwhile seeing is Pandora. Pandora is pretty
Mm.
cool to see the world of Avatar and walk through it all. And it feels very weird and real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we're not
and
really
it's
into that. So
yeah, it has a good ride. It's definitely one of
Yeah.
Deacon's favorite rides was the Flight of Passage ride, but yeah, I know. I feel like it's a very polarizing. Like some people are diehard Animal Kingdom is so good, you can't skip it, and then other people are just like it's a zoo. I can go to a zoo anywhere.
yeah, that was a little bit of our rationale. So
It is technically a zoo. There are people who get really angry when you call it a zoo, but it actually is certified as a zoo because they have that many animals under their care. So, but you know, it also has other things. But
so one of my favorite moments of the trip was just to kind of close this out. We were in some 3D ride. I don't even know what it was, and some guy, when you put your glasses in the bin after, and he was like, "Oh no!" And his wife started screaming at him, and he was laughing hysterically because he actually put his real glasses in the bin and not his 3D glasses, and he just was like, thought it was so funny, and his wife was so angry, and that was like a highlight moment of the trip.
that's amazing.
That is good.
Did you find like, I don't know, like the people watching at Disney, was it
Phenomenal.
entertaining as a first
Yeah.
timer?
Yep, it was just, and my kid also was like, he just counted when other kids had meltdowns. He'd be like, Mom, this is meltdown number 4 of the day. And we'd be like, don't say that too
Maybe
loud,
those were the
please.
kids who stayed up late watching the movie on the
Probably.
lawn.
Yeah, yeah. People watching, 10 out of 10. Weird world of people that are there. And a surprising number of old people, actually, with no
hmm
kids.
hmm I think
Yeah.
it's definitely like getting more traction as like you don't have to have kids to go, and people who I think took their kids when their kids were young, the kids have now grown up and they still want to go and still enjoy it. What about the food? Like, was there anywhere that you ate or anything that you had that you're like, oh yeah, that was so good, or nothing too fancy, nothing too special?
Yeah, I would say nothing too special. Like it was fine. It was really expensive, I found. Um, yeah, it was fine. We got what we needed when we needed it. And um I don't think there was anything that I was like, yeah, you gotta go have this.
Yeah, I think there's certain things that we would agree with that, yeah,
Yeah.
it's it can, much like the planning, it can make a difference if it's like you go to get like the things that are really good, because then you'll want to go back for them again and again, which is
Because
now
there
what
are
Steph and I
definitely,
just do.
well, yeah, like, because there are definitely stuff like food wise that you're like, okay, well, this is just like regular amusement park food, nothing super special. And then you watch a few videos or read a few reviews and you're like, oh, this sounds interesting. I want to hunt it out. And then you find that stuff.
Mhm.
So, but
So
all
I
goes
guess
in.
like, it sounds like your son loved it. It sounded like it was okay. Husband
Yeah,
maybe didn't love it. Would you go again? Like, do you think it's something you would want to go again? Was it a one and done for you?
we had a lot of fun, like husband included. We had a lot of fun. Will we go again? I think we need a few years, maybe every metric year.
Every metric year. Would you
Every
like to
metric year.
explain for everyone on the podcast, Paula, what a metric year is? Are we clear yet on what it means?
No, a metric year is has varying definitions. I believe it's once every 3 years.
Okay. All
Mhm.
right.
Okay.
Yeah. Which, because there's 3 feet in a
In a meter. Yeah,
meter.
correct. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Well, thank you for sharing your trip with us. It sounds like it was awesome, and always nice to hear sort of how a first timer finds things and, if it feels overwhelming, because I think the planning in general when you first start is pretty overwhelming, or can feel that way when you start diving into things. Did you use any like, other than Steph and I, like it sounds like you used YouTube. Did you use any other resources?
Yeah, you had recommended Disney Food Blog, so we
Yeah.
watched her videos, and that was it. And we just learned once we got there. So thanks to both of you for getting the app on my phone and booking me in certain things.
Oh yeah, didn't
and
Steph book like help you book all your
She did.
dining?
yeah,
Yeah. On your birthday,
on my birthday.
I was
Yeah.
presented with, Steph, you need to help me do this. Okay, Paula, where do you want to eat? I don't know. Where are you going? I don't know. Okay, let's back it up a bit.
So
Listen, Steph, it's my birthday. This is what I want, is for you to book these. Don't
Yep.
ask me questions I don't know the answers to.
Okay,
it all worked out after that. Yeah.
it did. Yes.
And then, so then the last day, the Friday, just packed up and left. Did you do anything like pool or any other activities before you left?
No, packed up, left. Then we went gator golfing nearby.
Oh yeah, talk about the gator golf, because you sent us a couple of photos of this and it looked
With all the
crazy.
gators.
It was
Yeah.
crazy. So our son's favorite YouTuber had gone to this gator golf place in Orlando. And so
Obviously, yeah.
we looked it up and he was thrilled. It was like jammed in this lot. There was gators everywhere. You could pay extra to feed the gators. Again, it was blazingly hot because it was like noon. And it was okay mini golf. But my son was thrilled. So, and there was a dive bar next door that if you wanted to get a beer, you could get a beer and bring it over to the golfing if needed.
I mean,
Sounds
that's
very
Florida.
Florida. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
that's like
was
the
peak
purest
Florida.
definition of Florida.
Yeah, and there was like a 75% discount trinket store attached to it as well.
Oh yeah,
Perfect.
that's Florida.
Yeah.
Did you feel like unsafe ever with the gators around, or okay.
No, they were kind of like caged off and far enough away. They were fine.
Okay.
But
All
yeah,
right.
there was a lot of them, and some of them were big.
Yeah.
I know, if the pictures you showed us, it did look pretty like, yeah,
Like they
there's
were
just
right there.
alligators right there.
Right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, and the man working there was just holding an alligator when we were paying. So
Yeah,
As
that
one
seems like
does.
Florida.
yeah, it
Was he? I'm picturing someone covered in tattoos with maybe like a jean jacket with like no sleeves. Is that?
kind of, yeah, yeah. That was his look for sure
Yeah.
on the weekend. Yeah,
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm picturing. Well, good. And
Yeah.
then you drove to the beach, and then
So
you
we go to
spent
the beach.
2 days at the beach before you all flew in your various directions to
That's
head
right.
back
Your
to where
next
you had to go.
destinations.
Yep, and the beach was great. It was a perfect recovery.
Yeah, after three days straight, it
Mhm.
sounds like you needed a recovery. Well, good. Well, thank you. This is awesome. I loved hearing about your trip, and I'm glad it was successful. I'm glad that our tips came in handy.
Thank
And
you both.
and I'm glad your grumpy old man had an okay time.
He had a rule 4 complaints per day, and he didn't even hit it. So,
Well, there you go.
mhm.
All right. Well, good. Well, I think that'll about wrap it up for this episode. So until next time.
Tweedle out.